I didn't know anything about Southeast Asia in general, especially Thailand, other than that I like the food. So I chose that because I wanted to pick something that was completely foreign to me. I'm not familiar with Buddhism, not familiar with the language, not familiar with, the area, the Asian culture. So I wanted to pick something that was extremely foreign to me in every sense. Because I knew that would help me grow, and so that's kind of why I chose it. I found my internship on the Edge, which was really random and awesome. So I went with CGI, and I studied at Tomsat, and there were 4 Carlson kids as well as a ton of other kids from around the world and throughout the US, and we just studied at Tomsat Business School, so it was very comparable to Carlson. And then I did this internship that I found, and that was completely separate, not connected at all. And that was really interesting because I worked with everyone from a lot of different countries in Europe. So I was actually the only American there. It was a really cool experience to work there, and then to also have my abroad experience. Focus in on what you're really looking for in the program. So narrow down like 1 to 3 things that you really want to get out of the program. So maybe it's you really want to get something academically out of it. Then really look at the schools and abroad and see which institutions are really good to go to. Or maybe you want to do traveling in a certain area of the world. Well, then obviously pick somewhere in that area. So just look at kind of the top 3 interests that you have and what your goals are. Even just, okay, if you want to do a homestay, maybe that's really appealing to you. Obviously make sure that you research that so you know what program kind of fits your top 3 goals. And also pick something that will push you a little bit out of your comfort zone, but won't make you, extremely stressed out. Because you want to pick something that you're comfortable with, but also will push you a little bit to experience something totally new to you.
I participated in the supply chain program, and we went on site visits here in Minnesota, and then we went to some of the same companies in California, and then visited some of the same companies in China and in Hong Kong to see the different variations and to see how the supply chain moves along the whole globe. And we went to the ports, we went to the actual manufacturing company, we saw how it manufactures, how the trucking companies move it from one place to the other. It was all something that I've never experienced or never even knew existed. We were able to go into places that the actual people in the company weren't able to, so we were VIPs, places that no man's zone could go into, and we had the opportunity to actually go in there. So that was such a big thing, and we met with the top CEOs of companies that no one else can meet, and they wish they can, but now I'm just a student and I'm a sophomore and I don't even know what supply chain was, and I'm meeting these big people. And if I didn't take this supply chain class, and then if I didn't go on this program and then took I-Corps, I feel like I wouldn't have decided on supply chain. So this program had just elevated my supply chain. I just love it so much that now when I'm studying about it, I'm so passionate and I know what I'm gonna do afterwards. And it makes it so much fun, because when I read about it, I know what's going on, and it just makes it so fun to see the thing in life and then learn about it to apply it, not the other way around.
I would say the highlight was my internship, because it gave me the opportunity to really be off on my own. I wasn't with other American students. I was truly immersed in the culture, and learning about an indigenous culture was something that I wasn't necessarily going into expecting. But I would say the overall, theme of studying abroad that I really liked is that it really taught me to love the idea of not knowing what was going to happen next. So even going to work every day, it wasn't consistent for me. Sometimes they would decide that we were going to go on an adventure that day, and I never knew where we were going, what we were doing. And so kind of dealing with that ambiguity is something that I could carry back with me here, because I learned to really love the idea of the excitement of not knowing what was going to happen next. Don't put any boundaries on yourself. Don't feel like you have to go in it to finish Carlson classes. For example, I went into it saying I can afford to take this semester off of Carlson. I'm focusing on Spanish and the culture. I ended up taking back 3 classes for my international business major, a couple lib eds. I came back with a lot more credits than I thought I would, but I really selected the program based on the culture, the region, kind of non-academic stuff. Of course the academic part is important, but really look at, are you going to be able to truly experience the culture? What culture do you want to experience? And decide what you want out of this experience, and don't select a program just based on what you feel like you should do. Use this as an opportunity to do something you would never do otherwise or later in your life.
Start as early as possible. I definitely, I waited until my sophomore year to start researching and really looking into like what programs I was interested in. But I would say, as a freshman, just start talking to people, attend the IE events, talk to past participants. There's not a single person that I know that's been disappointed with the Carlson Global Institute travel abroad. Everyone's raving about their experience, whether it was a 2-week, a month, semester, year, everyone enjoys their time abroad. So I would definitely say just, get connected, talk to people, watch videos like these, but just be involved. Traveling abroad was the best experience of my life, meeting those people like I talked about before, making lifelong connections, learning about yourself, enjoying your time in a different country, a different culture, different environment. For me at least, for 4.5 months during that semester was definitely the highlight of my Carlson career.